Welcome to Bandit's Keep Actual Play. I'm Daniel. Welcome back to the Song of the Mapper, my original Dungeons & Dragons solo campaign featuring Chainmail, or Unchained as it would be, and outdoor survival. We are zoomed in on the Rangers. They are on the third level of a dungeon facing off against basilisks. They've destroyed 3 of them so far. That was a bit hairy. And as we ended the last session, a black pudding crept up from behind. And black puddings, that's nothing to mess with. So let's see what happens. Black pudding is nothing to mess around with. Black puddings, I think, are like 10 hit dice. Yep, 10 hit dice. Okay, let me just check it, and it does way more damage. Okay, so how fast are the black puddings? That's really the question. 6. Okay, so it's actually fairly fast. All right. Okay, so it's turn 5 now. They come into this room, and it's empty, as we said. Well, there's a magic crystal in there, and they're debating whether or not they should deal with that. And, of course, the black pudding is going to move to here. Now, here's the question. They're standing there looking out in the hallway. I can't imagine this thing could surprise them, so I'm going to say it's only going to surprise them on a 1, but they will surprise it on a 1 or a 2. All right, nobody's surprised. So let me just see where they are in the room when it shows up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it goes 6 this way, 6 that way. So I'm going to roll. How far back are they? Well, okay, they're near the door. Okay, but they're down here. All right, so they're over here actually exploring where this thing kind of works its way. Somehow they hear it. All right, so initiative's going to matter because they are, I think, within 6 of it. Let me just check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it'll get to them, like, if they don't move. And I feel like they might move for this one because it is pretty deadly if they know what it is and they're not surprised. Let's use the deck to determine that. I'm just going to say straight up 50-50. Are they going to stand their ground and try to fight it, or are they going to try to do what they did with the Ochre Jelly and throw stuff at it and move? No. I didn't ask a question. I think the question was, are they going to stand their ground? So, no, they're not. They're going to actually run. So, let me roll initiative. Okay, it actually wins initiative, which means that they won't be able to run. And they're going to actually they're still going to do what they were going to do, but now they can't, like, run away from it and do it. It's going to get to them. If they don't kill it, it's going to get to them by the end of the turn. So, let me roll its hit points. It dies exactly the same way as the... Oh, do we know about this? Again, I'm going to say it's very likely. So, 3... If any of them are yes. Yes, okay. So they know that fire for a black pudding as well. So they're going to do exactly the same thing. Let me roll its hit dice first. You know what, I'm going to do it this way. Because this is another way to do this kind of stuff if you don't want to deal with the math. Is we can basically just take their dice like this. That was a 3. So this is the black pudding's hit points. And then what we'll do is the first person's going to throw get their fire on it and do 3 worth of damage. So they got a 6, a 5, oops, and a 3. Okay. Second person. Okay, so a 5. And then we've got a 6 would be 2 3s. And then a 6 would be this. Third person. I mean, there's literally... Oh, I think I just moved it, but there's no way they couldn't have finished them off. So they do, in fact, get to the black pudding and kill it before it gets to them. And that's turn 5. Okay, they're going to rest on turn 6. Is there a wandering monster? There is. That'll be at the end of turn 6. They're in this room. Obviously, they would fortify themselves behind the crystal. What creature is it? 2. It's a basilisk. Okay, again, they're resting and on guard. It's going to come at the end of the turn. I think the chances this thing can surprise them is nil. So, but still, we're going to see it because it's going to come into the door, right? So what we have to do to start off is exactly the same process. First elf has to make a save. Second elf has to make a save. Third elf has to make a save. Oh god. Fourth elf for human doesn't. Okay. First elf. 7 is enough. Second elf. 6. That's just enough. Third elf. 6. Okay. Wow, they're barely. It's like they just the power of the basilisk is just their skin is tight. They're feeling lethargic. They're but they don't turn to stone. So just like before, it has 6 hit dice. We got to get it 6 times. The first character is, and we still should be in short range for a longbow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. 3 dice. 1, 4. Oh, actually, you know, I didn't say that you did a bless, so we didn't do a second bless. No, it's 24 turns for the bless, so we're actually still good. It's only been 12 turns or less. I'll just call it 12. I think it's been less than 12, but we'll just call it 12 now because I didn't keep track. So they've got 3 dice, 1 for the bless, 1 for short range, 1 for dexterity. 5s and 6s hit, they can add 1 to one of these dice. Okay, we have 3 5s, or sorry, 3 hits, which is a 6 and 2 5s. Even adding 1 wouldn't do anything there. Second elf, that's exactly the same. Okay, that's a 6, which is a hit, and they can add 1 to one of these 4s to make it a hit. So we only need 1 more hit. Third elf, they have the 3 dice, 1 for bless, 1 for range. They do not have dexterity bonus, nor can they add 1, which they get nothing. And then human magic user with the heavy crossbow, 2 figures times 2, range, bless. They only need 1. 1, 5, or 6. Got it. Just got 1. That's 6 exactly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. All right. Basilisk number 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 basilisks that we've killed so far. And there's only 5. So next time we encounter a basilisk, it'll be the last one. And then we'll just come into a room that has a treasure, I guess. We'll just put the last room over here if we encounter it as a random encounter. Whew. All right. Turn 1. 6. 6. Turn 2. So I'm going to get right to this corner. Is there going to be a random encounter? No. Okay, so 3 and then 4 will get us to this door and we can listen at it. But first I'm going to see if there's a random encounter at the end of turn 4. There's not. Okay, so we listen at the door. And we hear something if there's something there. Is there something on the other side? No. Unless it's a dead end. Okay. Obviously we have to modify it if it was dead end because... Okay. Is the only way this can go? We'll say this slightly slopes, so we can do this and make it so it doesn't come off the page where you can't see it. So they open the door. There's nothing there. That's on turn 5. Actually, I guess I got to roll to open the door, which they do. So they can move 6 and turn. Then they're going to sit here and rest for turn 6. Is there a random encounter? No. Okay, that was 6 more. So we only have 6 more turns of the bless. This is our last foray with the bless. So there's a bunch of rubble here we're going to have to get through. But turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's only 7, 8 to that. So, oh yeah, this is the end, my friend. Look, there's even treasure right there. This is actually couldn't be more perfect. So it's going to be in that room. It's going to be where the basilisk is. If there's anything in these 2 rooms, it's just going to be, well, actually, it could be in any of these rooms. That's where the treasure is. So we can get to this door just barely. So at the end of turn 1, we get to this door, these doors, but we can't listen. So turn 2, we're going to listen to both doors to see if we hear anything here. We do if there's something in the room. Is there something there? Yes. This door here. We do if there's something in the room. Is there something there? No. All right, so we hear something in this room. What is it? Okay, it sounds like another black pudding slopping around in there. Okay, we don't hear anything in this room. There's another door up there, so I think, I don't know, is it better for me to not open this door? We don't want to just kill black pudding. We know what a black pudding sounds like. We know there's a black pudding in there. We're going to spike this door shut, and we're going to try to push this door open. Because we should just check the room. Okay, we're able to open the door. That's spiked shut. The black pudding will get through it in 5 turns. Of course, there's also a secret door there, but we don't. Maybe that's how it'll go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, yes, it's just going to go around it. So it'll come around. So let me actually move it there. So it's here. And I'll move it each turn towards us. Which actually we're going to get closer to it. So we open the door, we come in, and that was the end of turn 2. Oh, hold on. I have to roll for a random monster. No. All right, we don't find anything in that room. We come back out on turn 3. The black pudding moves to here. We move to this door and listen. Obviously, we know there's a basilisk in this room. We hear it. We hear the basilisk. Now, here's the thing. I guess we don't know there's a secret door there. But we don't want the black pudding behind us. This is one of those things where you have to kind of not meta. Would we want to block the black pudding out or kill it so that way we don't have to deal with it because it's behind us? I feel like that is something PCs would do. So we're going to just make it 50-50. So yes or no, do we go back to this door, kick it open, and try to kill the black pudding by throwing fire in there? Actually, you know what? No, we're going to be smart. We actually pour a pool of oil on the ground right here. Right? And the cleric, this is going to be turn 4. We're going to have just enough to fight this basilisk. Yeah. Okay, assuming there's not another wandering monster. And there's not. The cleric is going to stand there with the torch, and if they hear the door open, they're going to ignite it. And then they're going to stand on this side of it, and then they're going to back up quickly. The rest of the party is going to kick this door open. Actually, again, we're going to do what we did before. Knock spell, because we have a knock spell. And we're going to open the door quietly and try to surprise the basilisk. The problem is the black pudding is also coming, and of course, we don't know that. So, is the basilisk surprised? I'm going to say on 1 through 4 it is. It is. So we kick the door open, the basilisk is in the room. Let's see where it is. I'm going to do cardinal directions. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 with the D4. 1. Okay, it's actually over here. So we open the door quietly and see the basilisk there. And when we do, the black pudding opens a secret door right in front of it. So I think we had the basilisk surprised. So I think we're not dumb enough to... We're elves, which is nice. Well, most of us are elves. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to use some of the strategy that we can do with this game. Because we know that this is going to be dangerous for this magic user. But because we know that this... no. If they move half their distance. So elves can do something called split move and fire, which means they can move half their movement, which would be 4. So they can move to here and then shoot. And it'll happen during the movement phase, not during the missile phase, which is kind of nice. The magic user, unfortunately, cannot do that. She could move, but then she'll have to shoot during the missile phase. Since that's well less than half of her movement, she can do that, but it won't be during the movement phase. I think it's worth it, so that's what we're going to do. Since we have surprise, then we can automatically do that. So we move here. The black pudding comes into the room, which is nice because the black pudding is now there. We are now going to shoot at the basilisk. So once again, we're still in short range. We still have a bless. So the first character, 3. 1 for the range, 1 for the bless, 1 for dexterity. Oh god, okay, they only get 1 hit. Second character, exactly the same. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. That's good. And then finally, the last elf I'm wondering. No, I want to do what we said we were going to do. And in fact, I have to do that. So the last one, again, has 3 dice. Can't add 1-to-1. Range, bless, but no dexterity. Plenty to kill the last basilisk. Okay. So the basilisk is dead. All the treasure's there. But this black pudding now has moved up. And that's the end of black pudding's turn, but it's kind of in the doorway. This magic user hasn't shot yet. So since they go on the missile turn, they're just going to drop their crossbow on the ground and throw a flask of oil onto the black pudding, which is not going to do anything right now. But what's going to happen is the following. And this kind of comes down to initiative. So this is going to be, again, this is why you state what you're doing before initiative. They are going to yell to the cleric that the place is clear of basilisks and ask the cleric to charge forward with their torch, right? From here to here, which they definitely can do. Every other character is going to throw their oil. If we win initiative, right? Actually, then the cleric will be able to move before the black pudding and light it on fire because it already has 1 oil flask on top of it. If not, it's going to be behind it. So it kind of comes down to that. Okay. So let's roll initiative. It wins. Okay, so we can't get the extra bonus right away, but the black pudding moves. I mean, we could just run away from it because we are faster than it. But it's not like, well, it won initiative, so we actually can't run away from it. So we're going to actually hit it with our torches, right here. The cleric is, of course, running in. It has 1 more flask on it, but this is now melee, which means that it will get 1 hit against somebody potentially. So let's see if we kill it in 1 round first. I think that's going to be important, because if so, then we'll deal with the rest of it when it happens. So here is 10 dice. These are the hit points of the black pudding. Okay, so we'll do it just like before. So this black pudding is a little bit more tough than the other one. We may be in trouble here this time. Okay. So I'm going to do its attack last because I just want to see if it dies. So number 1, remember they threw the flask of oil earlier. So they're actually going to get basically double damage this turn. So we're just going to do them first because they're flask from the first turn and then this turn. So they fight as 3. So oh, that's very good. All right, 2 6s and a 5. So 2 6s and a 5. And then they get to attack again, because again, they get 2. A 6, a 5, and a 1. So a 6 and a 1 is 7. 4 and a 3 is 7. Then we have a 5 to remove a 5. Okay, now this elf is 3. Oh, I almost messed up. This elf is 3 dice. I think we're going to get it in 1 turn. Don't be too cocky. We've got 7. And then we have this extra 1 that I'll put here for a second. Second elf is also 3. Okay, so if we put these 2 together, that gets rid of that. And then this is more than that. The black pudding will die this turn, but here's the thing. It gets 1 attack, and it is 10 hit dice. Heavy foot. So it's going to roll all of its dice, which heavy foot versus armored foot, because again, that's what we're defending as, is actually going to give it 5 dice to roll. If any of these dice are 6s, it will latch onto a person and do some damage. Actually, does it do it immediately or does it do it after the first round? Let me just quickly check that because that will make a difference. Any hit that does not kill the victim causes the pudding to stick to armor and skin. From that point on, every round. Okay, so actually it doesn't matter, but I'll still do it anyways. Because it's dead, so we burned it off. But assuming that you didn't, we're going to roll these 5 dice. If they get any 6s, which they didn't, so it didn't matter, but let's say they got a 6. then whoever they hit, it wouldn't kill them, but it would actually start doing hit point damage. So I know in this particular campaign, we haven't used hit points a lot, although all of a sudden we are. But then that's where you start burning off hit points, and hit points do not recover quickly. They recover very, very slowly. So thankfully, that wasn't the case. We destroy the black pudding. The final basilisk has been killed, and all of its treasure is here. And there is a ton of treasure, most of which is gems and jewelry, luckily, so we can carry it. All of it is gems and jewelry. I'm just going to quickly read it to you. 2 times 800, 1 900, 3 times 1,000, 1,200, 1,300, 4 times 2,000, 2 times 3,000, 2 times 4,000, 3 times 5,000, 2 times 6,000, 1 times 9,000. Now, again, this is only that many pieces of jewelry, and they only weigh like 5 each, so we can carry all that. It's a ton of treasure. So the basilisks have been destroyed. We're in the final shrine. The cleric casts a spell that will destroy the shrine, and we're going to work our way out. But, you know, as all things, the bless is now gone. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's going to take us 2 turns to get out. I'm going to make 1 wandering monster check to see if they encounter either an ochre jelly, a green slime, or another black pudding on their way out. They do not. The party leaves the dungeon with the treasure and comes back out to their encampment, loaded down with the treasure, happy to have survived the basilisks, and they move into their encampment, and, you know, there's a rainbow or something, right? Actually, we need some kind of a sign. Let's see the sign that the omen is going to happen. The key, open, intricate. Oh, here we go. Well, not a mimic, but oh, interesting. Maybe that's for the future. They see a sign. They see as the dungeon collapses in, part of the cliff face falls off, and in the side is one of those ancient dwellings that's been carved into the cliff, that's been buried for many years. Like an entire civilization lived in this cliff face for who knows how long, and they were buried by a mudslide. And now this place is open, and weirdly, it's marked with the symbol of the key. And I guess we'll see what's waiting in there next part of this campaign. So that was a big jump into the future for these guys. They hung out for a long time waiting. They are going to take some of this cash and get back to town again so I can level up again. I'm going to reset myself for this campaign, and basically we're going to see what's going to happen. Probably next time you see me on here talking about this, it might not be the Rangers, but we'll be in what is effectively season 3. And we're going to have, maybe we'll bring this group back, maybe not. Maybe we'll bring back the Foxes, maybe not. Maybe we'll bring back the Hero and the Hobbit. We'll figure that out. In any case, thanks for sticking with me through this journey. It's been pretty awesome. I think we're probably rounding out, getting close to it. I don't think we're quite there. Obviously, I won't know until I edit this. Somewhere around 120 sessions of this, which is just wild to think that I've been playing it this long, that people are watching. So I really appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon. If you've been enjoying these actual plays, please do take a second to like the video, subscribe to the channel, watch some of the older content if you'd like. Let me know in the comments below what else you'd like to see. We're kind of wrapping up, if you will, season 2 or 3, I can't remember what, but we're kind of opening up a new domain here. I have some ideas, but if there's something you'd love to see on this campaign, let me know, and I'll talk to you soon.